I'm Abby, and today I'm going to try to tackle a very special subject matter that would be related to a friend that I've had for some time who does not live on this planet, but lives on another planet. So it is not weird or strange to interact with beings that live in the universe, just like it is not weird or strange to talk to trees or flowers or bumblebees or animals or the lake. It's not weird to do those things. It's not strange to talk to your own body to try to comprehend what its needs are. When I've been sick, I ask my body, okay, what are you hungry for? And it tells me apples. It tells me I want orange juice. It tells me I need rice. It says those things to me. But I don't talk to my body enough, otherwise it would say, I need more sleep. And I would say, nope, you don't get it. That's why I don't talk to you enough, because you want things that I don't always want to give you, because we live in that world. Can't always listen to our bodies, because the world doesn't always give us that option. And that is the world that we are approving of. The world that is very demanding of us all the time. But, I'm going to try very hard to talk about a friend of mine who lives in the stars, and his name is Avery, the human alien, and I've talked about him on my website, and I've talked about him in some of my other videos, and I always share the same messages because it's very hard for me to talk about Avery because he is very meaningful to me. And meaningful things usually create an emotional response because I don't live in a world where I experience meaning a lot. And most people don't experience meaning much here. And so when you do experience meaning, it is meaningful, and meaningful things create emotion, and emotion then creates tears. So I try and contain myself, but I'm going to attempt to talk about Avery today. And I'm not going to tell you what he looks like first. I'm just going to dive in. I'm just going to dive into something he showed me about human beings, about myself, about, so I used to be kind of, I don't know, I used to have black hair. I used to have my nose pierced. I have a tattoo. I used to ride a BMX bike. And I don't do that now. I have my bike still. I ride it sometimes. I can bunny hop it. I can grind on a very little ledge too. I'm awesome like that. I'm super. But Avery magically removed my nose piercing. Magically. I told him, see that, so we talk all the time, and he was very, I don't know where to begin with this. I guess I'll start by telling you what he looks like, and then I'll tell you, I just always share the same stuff about him all the time, and I'm ready to try and share new things about him. But since this video is about Avery, I guess I should just try and tell you the whole story. Maybe almost some of the whole story. There's a lot to a whole story. So let's just start by describing what he looks like. And he's white. He has pale skin. He is very tall. He's very tall. So he's like 7 foot tall. And he has very beautiful blue eyes and blonde hair, and his wavy blonde hair. And I didn't know what he looked like for a long time. I just could feel him, and I started to see a picture in my head of a very handsome man, but I just ignore it because we all see pictures in our head. We all see things in our heads that we ignore, which is us ignoring profound wisdom from the universe. We don't call it profound wisdom, we just call it our imaginations, because we live here on this level of frequency where profound wisdom is our imagination. That's why we don't experience profoundness here. We experience what we are kosher with, which isn't anything extraordinary. It is like living in an ice box. Here, there is no warmth and no profound spiritual love towards one another, unconditional love. And so Avery, I finally started to put 2 and 2 together. And I did have help from a very close friend of mine who is a psychic. And just to confirm that I'm not insane, I can trust this person wholeheartedly. And I'm not doing a very good job of telling you about Avery. I feel just like too many thoughts that aren't syncing up. I'm going to have the spirit world help me, because again, I just get stuck in my throat. You know, you can think all day long in here, and how often do those thoughts translate through here? They don't. We talk about normal things. We don't talk about all the stuff that happens in here. And so I have all kinds of stuff happening in here, and they don't exactly exist on this planet. They don't exactly exist in human form. They exist in spirit form, alien form. I interact with Mother Nature all the time. I interact with energy all the time. I feel frequencies of energy all the time. I translate it. I can sit here and sense so many things, and but I'm just an average Joe. I'm just a normal person. I shop at Walmart and I eat McDonald's on occasion. But I have a profound life that I do not share, so I'm trying to share it right now. I'm trying to share it right now. But I'm going to drink my coffee right now. And now I'm going to try and share it right now. Okay. So let's try this again. I'm going to ask the spirit world to help me because I'm struggling. And I'm not going to ask Avery to help me because he'll be too profound. He'll just make me cry because he'll mean too much to me. Sorry, Avery, but I think you get it. He gets it, but he's not, okay. Alright, universe, I choose to share wisdom, my personal experience of, Avery with the world today. I'm having a very difficult time talking about it. I don't know how to start. I don't know what to share. I don't know how to get the words out. So I'm asking you to help me share this. So I'm just going to wait for you to inspire, to create a spark to help me get the flow going again. So one thing you don't know is that I've already created a video where I talk about Avery. I just did it and it sucked so bad. So this is my second attempt. And who knows, I might not even share this. But they're telling me that that I really do. They're showing me how badly I really do want to talk about this because I am trying again now to try to talk about this, and they're showing me that Avery has shown me things that I see are so valuable and meaningful for human beings to have that same awareness, and because of the meaning, it is very hard for me to talk about. So it would make sense that I would need help because of the response, obviously. They're telling me that I have endured a lot of emotional pain, and so for me to feel what love feels like is very counter of what I have endured through my life, and that is why it is very hard for me to tolerate it, which is sad, but that is why I've had, my soul does not come here to just run through the flowers. My soul comes here to actually learn, and you only learn through the challenges, and then you become profound and wise. If all we knew was what running through flowers felt like, what would we know about a universe? Nothing. We would just know about one thing. But it does hurt me like it does hurt everybody else. But it was necessary for me to endure certain challenges. And now I'm trying to override them to be able to share wisdom. But my soul is very, very capable of many things. But, okay, so let me see what they say next to help me move along. They keep doing this thing where they keep showing me that they're holding my hands and they are sharing love with me. Dang it. I don't want to have these emotional videos. I don't like it. It's frustrating. They tell me I don't feel that enough. Nobody feels that enough. When you feel the spirit world will share love with you, you do not feel that kind of love at all on this planet. It is not comparable. So let's see what else they have to say. So they're showing me how emotions create counter reactions. So I might not be able to actually share about Avery, and the reason why is because there are what is like a giant ball of information inside me. And then Avery would be, so we're looking at what is like a solar system of emotions. And the largest planet, so like Jupiter, and then Avery would be like a moon. And so Jupiter, which is all of the experiences, all of the learning and training I have had in a lifetime that has equated to so much turmoil and so much internal just anger and all of these things, and out here is what love is, just a tiny little moon in comparison to all of this. And so this overrides the messages that the tiny little moon is sending. And so that is why it keeps getting so hard. They're helping me, actually. They're actually what is like opening up and creating superior light beams that override Jupiter. So I can only speak through the planet, and that I could share this. It's amazing because the feeling I have now is like I am no longer Jupiter anymore. See what the spirit world can do for you? This is why you need to make these connections. You make these connections by choosing to interact with love. Love, unconditional love. Love that exists super high frequency love. That is what high frequency love does. It helps us. It helps us to develop and share wisdom. That is important. The universe is not going to let me fail. The universe won't, especially when I keep trying. I keep trying, and I am not perfect. I'm not great at this thing, but I keep trying, and I get better and better all the time. So this is just today. But next year, on this exact same day, I guarantee my videos are going to be way more fluid, way more awesome, way more open, and who knows what I'll be doing. Okay, so they're telling me to pick the first thought that I have, and I'm going to share the memory with you. So I noticed Avery was, so I think I told you he's tall, blonde, blue eyes, attractive man. People on this planet would say, oh, well, he's a Palladian. People just like to label things. People just like to categorize. We live in a universe. Palladians are just one tiny little pinch. Human beings are just a tiny little pinch. There's so much that exists. So many freaks out there that are loving and are not loving. So many freaks out there, and they're freaks because we couldn't even possibly understand their appearance. That's how weird they are. Don't relate to things that exist here, yet they are part of the fabric of all creation. People don't understand that. And so Palladians are not the only creations in existence, and human beings, and all reptilians, and there are snake beings, there are beings that I couldn't possibly describe because I still can't figure out what they look like. They are strange looking, very, very strange looking. But Avery, I do not consider him a Palladian, although he probably would be akin to what people describe as a Palladian. I'm just going to put it that way. He doesn't need a label. He's just Avery the human alien. And so I was standing in front of the mirror, and he was showing me things about what is natural. He was showing, he altered me, altered my perception, altered everything that I understood. And you have to know that we have known each other for a very long time, and even lifetimes and lifetimes. So when he sees me in pain, he is my best friend. He wants to help me. You don't let your best friend suffer. It doesn't matter what planet you live on. You do whatever it takes to go and help them, whatever you can do. Even if it is just in trying to get through to them. It is a very different interaction because I'm a human being that exists here. He is a profound being that exists here. He is like a magician to what we understand as what is possible, or what is wisdom, or what is existence. He is like a profound, super extraordinary being. And so for him to make an impact on me who it took a long time to develop even the skills to understand him or to talk to him, because I am that low on a totem pole. I am like a monkey, trying to understand a human being. It is a different spectrum of existence. And so I used to dye my hair a dark color, so sometimes I dye it black, and had my nose pierced, and when you have Jupiter inside you, you just don't care about anything. You just are angry, and you just don't have. It is an essence of trying to have control in a world that you feel you have no control over. And the one thing you have control over is whether or not you want to annihilate yourself, you see? And that is why people lose their minds here. And then you go to a psychologist and they tell you need to take medication. It is the world. It is the world. It is not the human being. It is the world that creates these things, not the human being. That is why this is so messed up here. It is like a circus here. So to undo and to see correctly is so hard. So Avery and I talk all the time, and I have known him directly since college, but I've known him indirectly for a very long time. And what inspired me to talk about Avery was the fact that I had seen The Little Prince, and just the image of the Little Prince. So just the little planet and the boy with the blonde hair who catches the stars. That is the little prince. And when I saw that recently this week, I saw the little prince, and then it was sort of like a snap, and I remembered to some time when I was so young and little, I couldn't possibly tell you when I saw this, but I saw that exact same image, and it was as if even as a child I said, Avery. It sounds so weird, it sounds so ridiculous, but I knew him. I've known him my whole life because I'm a soul. And our souls are connected. It doesn't matter what bodies we inhabit. It doesn't matter what decade. It doesn't matter when existence takes place that we are together or not together. Our souls are always in connection. We are always in oneness. And the vibration of our souls are in such a harmony that we have a magnetism towards each other, a connection. We care about each other. Not every single soul in existence is your soul going to have a deep and profound connection with. It doesn't mean you can't love or appreciate. It doesn't. That's fine. I mean, how many people do we see every day that it's just another person, But how many people do we see that we actually have a real connection with that person? That's special, Those are special harmonies that are created when our souls are close together. And so Avery had shown me, he inspired me to quit dyeing my hair completely. He inspired me to remove my nose piercing, which I told him, you're gonna have to remove that. I'm not taking my nose piercing out. It's been there for 10 years. It is like a part of me now. It is part of my body. If you want that nose piercing gone, you remove it. I told him that. And he did. I don't have any clue how he did it. But within 24 hours of me telling him to do it, because I'm just like, you're gonna have to come here, take it out, if you want that nose piercing gone. It's like, you're just gonna have to come here. Well, within 24 hours of me saying that, I remember I'd taken a walk over my lunch break and was joking with him about how he's never going to get this nose piercing out of my nose, and I was laughing at him about it. And then the next thing, I had run to the bathroom or something and had noticed it wasn't there. And I was like, what? Where is it? And then it was sort of like giggling, you challenged me. I was like, I'm going to challenge you all the time now. So, I don't know how we did it. I still don't know. But I had to honor the challenge, because I told him if he could remove the nose piercing that I would never put it back in again. And he did. And I never put it back in. I had no choice. I have to honor the things that I say I'm going to do. If you tell somebody that if you challenge somebody, I challenged Avery and I told him, you take it out. If you can do it, I won't put it back in. I have to honor that. That is what you do. And so I never put it back in. And it was very odd to adjust to that. But as time went on, it was very strange what I learned about the human body. And I stopped dyeing my hair too, because he told me he wanted me to see what I look like as a natural human being. And so I said, I don't even know what my natural hair color is anymore because I've dyed it for so long. So I said, okay, it's probably graying now. And I do have, you can't tell, but I do have some gray hair. That I'm not dyeing it, so it is natural. It's the way my hair is. And it is me. It is exactly what me looks like. Exactly the way that the universe created me. I am not unnatural at all. I used to straighten my hair all the time, and I don't straighten it. This is exactly the way my hair is. Exactly. And I stopped I always cut it short. I've always had short hair my whole life. I don't know. I never knew what it was to have long hair, so now I'm just going to grow it out and have long princess hair. So he told me that he wanted me to see what a natural woman looks like. And so I said, okay. And he, my nose piercing and stopped dyeing my hair and stopped straightening it. And it is strange, but I didn't realize that I was actually torturing my body, that having that nose piercing was the metal itself was actually creating an issue with the flow of energy. And it was actually creating pain for my body that I didn't even know it existed. Only after it had gone away did I sense a relief from it. It was very weird, because you don't experience that at this level of humanity. You don't experience what we do to each other. And so I didn't know that hair actually is as alive as the voice that is coming out of me. And when I dye it, it is actually hurting a living structure. It is sort of like putting toxin on a tree and expecting it to grow properly. It is very, very strange to discover these things. When I'm straightening my hair, you don't think hair is alive. Hair is not. I mean, that is human and girls, I mean, that is very normal on this planet to just do that. It's fun. I even stopped painting my toes and my fingernails. I'm just completely the way he showed me a natural woman is, and that is the way that is like the flower and like the tree. You don't see trees painting their their tree trunks. You don't see trees painting their leaves. Obviously, they don't have the movement that we have, but they are natural structures, and they are a reflection of what we can be as natural structures. We hurt ourselves when we alter our physical form from what is the natural form. And that's why I have had such a hard time when I come to realize things that this is an example. This here is an example of a realization that I had no idea existed. I did not know how badly I was harming my own body when I was dyeing my hair, straightening my hair, and I had my nose pierced. I did not know how bad I was harming my own body until he showed me over time. And he showed me too how human beings are harming each other and not even knowing it. And that is when he started to show me things about circumcision. And now it's so hard for me to tolerate. And that is sort of a serious issue that exists on the planet that I think about this, and I feel pain in my heart over this, because this is alright, so Avery, people describe Palladians as super high vibration, obviously beautiful blonde people, and but their vibration is at a level that is literally like on an orgasmic state on a regular basis. So they are completely attuned to a vibration that is sexual energy, and so Avery is very much aligned with a vibration that is it is unconditionally loving, but also what is a sensation of pure sexuality, pure alignment with what is pure sexual energy. I don't know how you describe it. It is different than what we would translate that to mean. It doesn't mean I want to go have sex with you. It is so extreme love. It is so extreme love. It it has no, it is no description. I can't define it, but it is so overwhelming. It is so overpowering. It is like getting poofed in the face with, I don't know. It is indescribable. His energy as a sexual alignment is strange. It is. I don't know. I'm on my second video talking about Avery, so I'm like really kind of getting exhausted. But I'm trying really hard to share things that he's shared with me and shown me about what it is to be a natural human being. And these things are important. And that it has a lot to do with honoring our bodies because they are sacred creations in the universe. And that all of us were created perfectly. And it isn't about what is the most attractive. It is about all things being the most beautiful, the most profound and sacred creation in the universe. All things are an expression of the creative universe. And you don't see that we are souls inhabiting a body that is enduring experiences. We see each other as good looking or not good looking, smart or dumb. That is how we evaluate each other. We don't evaluate each other in the soul. We don't say, I love that soul. You don't go see a homeless person and just say that soul chose to experience a life of this nature, to experience what dirty feels like, what challenge to eat feels like, what eating out of a trash can feels like. People just say, ew, get away from me. I don't, who knows what that hobo, why they are that way, what they experience. I mean, it's just, there's so many different ways of experiencing life. But we don't acknowledge that it is a soul that chose to comprehend that side of the universe, You don't look at somebody and say, that person who is severely obese and can't even get out of their bed, that is a soul inside there that chose to experience life. This challenge, this is a challenge for that soul. We don't try to help each other with our challenges. We just see each other as ew or wow, beautiful, extraordinary. And the thing about beauty on this planet is it is not natural. It has lost its naturalness. And thus it is corrupted. It is not what natural beauty is. It is hurting. So you look at celebrities today, and they are not even natural. They have surgeries on a regular basis. And Avery showed me how when we go under a surgery, we are actually putting our bodies to sleep so they can be tortured. He showed me this, that hospitals are like torture chambers. And I was like, well, how else? I mean, it's not just plastic surgery. It is, what if you have a heart attack? I mean, what are you supposed to do? You have to go to the torture chamber so they can get your heart beating again. But he is showing me that that is the thinking that exists here. When we choose to vibrate and alter our frequency way up here, we start to discover that there are different ways of healing that do not involve choosing to create torture chambers to fix the physical body. That there are other ways to heal that go beyond what we can comprehend at this level. And there was one day that I was I don't even know how this happened, but I was searching Google Images for something. And it happened to show me an image of a woman's breasts that were before and after. And I was, and it was sort of like, because she had surgery done so she could have bigger boobs. And it was like, so I don't know why, but it triggered something that it related to what he had shown me about torture chambers, and that we are disturbing what is the natural frequency, that what is our sacredness. We are taking a knife to our sacredness and putting material. I was so just mortified when I saw the images. What is wrong with what your natural body is? Why does it have to be something else? So anymore, because he has altered me, he has altered my perception, so I now endure pain all the time when I see the world around me. You see what I mean? Now I see clearly how we are disturbing our sacredness. It is all over television, and television talks to our children and tells our children that this is how to be. This is exactly how we need to live. It is good to get surgery and have bigger breasts to be more attractive. That is a good thing. That my perception is so disturbed anymore that I see that as mutilating a sacred form, as a torture chamber. Celebrities choosing to endure a torture chamber so that they can continue to be the image of today. They are the image of today. They are the image that we love, we accept, because it is beautiful. We all want to be beautiful, but we don't realize that we already are beautiful. Avery showed me all of these things about what it is to be natural. It's hard to talk about, but you understand. And I too related. I was trained to be and understand here. And then as he saw everything that I've been through, that I and how I could tolerate it, and how I learned ways to live life and be able to accept that world. And then he came in and altered me so that I could see right from wrong and to see myself clearly. And now you can see why it is so hard to tolerate, to see yourself in the mirror, to see yourself clearly is very hard. And once you see the truth, you will never be the same again. You will be altered forever. And then you will start to see it every single day. And it will be a whole new sensation of challenge. I don't know. But Avery is a real person. He's my friend, and I talk to him a lot. I don't talk to him as much because it just started to get too hard to talk to him. Because every time I would just start to miss him more and more, because he's the only thing that is real to me in this world that is so corrupted and so disturbing all the time. You see what happens when you allow love, real love, to enter? It alters the whole world that you see. And now suddenly the world that you see is very hard to tolerate. It's hard to digest. And where do you go? Where do you go then? You just have to push the ignore button, so you can keep living. I don't have a choice. I have to live here. That's what I do. And so, but Avery isn't the only thing I interact with. And I've interacted with Avery in other forms that he takes. You don't realize this, but you are not just in one body. You are in more than one body. I am in other bodies right now, too, experiencing the universe. This is just one of several bodies that I inhabit right now. So I've seen Avery in his other forms too. And he came to me in other forms so that I wouldn't have to see him so that I wouldn't cry, because he could trick me, so to speak. But eventually I figured it out. But for some reason I'm able to tolerate him as I don't know. I guess I could tell you that Avery would come to me as a man with a head of a horse, and a man that is almost like a horse that is standing upward, extremely tall, and even beautiful. It is hard to believe that you could find beauty in a horseman, but I was quite surprised the first time that I had met what I named him Emerald, because he had a green glowing light on his star of his nose, of his face, that was in the form of literally a horse. And he was very tall, very extraordinarily loving being. And I can tolerate Avery in that form better than Avery as his blonde form. And I think maybe it's because he's human, so I can relate to that form instead of him being as a horseman. I can't, that form doesn't, I don't relate to that form in the same way. And so I can tolerate him better. But Emerald, the Emerald Avery is, and it's also, they also are the same, but they also have different instinctive natures. Emerald came to me one day while I was thinking, and I was thinking about how certain things that I had done would make other people feel. And Emerald literally just appeared, and I could see him so clearly, not only here, but I could almost touch and feel him. That he literally just said, you are not here to live other people's lives for them. You're here to live your life, and how other people interpret you is their own thing. And you do not take in you do not worry about what it is that other people think, because that is for them. That is their experience of the universe. That is their choice. That is their learning of how to comprehend the universe through you. You're all reflections of each other. And sometimes we find reflections like scary. Sometimes we find them disagreeable. Sometimes we find them beautiful. And I'm talking about how we see people. And how we see people is how we see ourselves too. And each one of us is a picture of ourselves in a different version. And so I cannot worry about what other people think. I'll never forget when he came and said that to me, because it was so loud and so clear and so obvious what he had said that it was unmistakable. It was not. I've been changed every time. But I always think about Emerald every time I think about, and when I go there. I think it's very natural for us to wonder sometimes how we might make other people feel. And that's a good thing. That means that we are compassionate, we care about other people's feelings. Anyway, I've been talking forever on this, and I'm going to be done. I just want to try and share more about Avery. And I have... And I've got, if you go to my website, you can read something that I wrote. Sorry. I just get emotional, and then I need a Kleenex. But you can go to my website. It's www, if you didn't know the first part, AbbeyNormalsWisdomQuest.com. And you can click on Avery the Human Alien. And I wrote that a few years ago. And that is everything that I could tell you about when I met Avery in college. and what the experience was like, and some other instances that we had together. And so if you're wanting to find out more, I guess I have another video too. It's called Alien verse Spirit Interactions is what it's called, I think. It was a few weeks ago. So I think that is called Alien verse Spirit Interactions. So I talked a little bit about Avery there too. But I'm going to try very hard to share more and more about what Avery has shared with me, because it is so important, it is so valuable. And right now I'm kind of on a kick about sharing what is sacred, sharing what is natural, sharing what it is to be a divine man and a divine woman. And a lot of this wisdom came to me from Avery, because that is his alignment. He is aligned with energy that is on the wisdom of sexuality, on the wisdom of a balance and harmony with pure sexuality. And that is pure unconditional love. That is love at its highest vibration. And that is what his life is on that is normal for him to experience love on that level all the time. That is normal. Can you imagine that being our normal? Loving, just being in that harmony all the time, and just naturally being able to love and appreciate each other. Now suddenly everything changes. Now suddenly we put all the guns down, because there's no reason for them. Why are we fighting with each other? When we just see love everywhere, now suddenly we can appreciate creation and appreciate the creation that is each other. Before I turn this video off, I want you to do something. I want you to spend today looking at every person and to see that the universe created that body, that exact identity. And that is a profound and beautiful creation. Just do that. And try to comprehend and relate to that. And then try to see inside that being that there is a soul inside of there, and that inside of that profound and beautiful creation is a soul that is experiencing life. Try to imagine what that soul is experiencing inside of that body. You know, we can look at people who drive a Lexus and wear a business suit. I mean, we don't always know exactly what we all are enduring, but we can imagine, we can be creative and think about what would be that person's challenges and what would be, you know, that person's blessings. And when you see a homeless person, a real one, not the homeless people who are actually living on, like, high off the cow on being homeless, because I've met some in Iowa City. That is a hub for young homeless kids to go there. And then yes, they do exist, but that too is an experience. That too is them actually still choosing to be at a certain existence, to experience that existence, and to find satisfaction with that. That is strange to me. I don't want to be that. No, then there's a reason why I'm not that. But do that. Just look at everybody and choose to just see them as a creation. You know, love the praying mantis, love the spider, love the beetle, love the fire ant, love the snake, love the armadillo, love the duck-billed platypus. You know, we are all the varieties of creation. Every single one of us is a variety of creation. Every single one of us is beautiful. And every single one of us should honor our sacred bodies. And when you see people that are caked in makeup, and, you know, it's usually women that have the hardest time just being the most natural expressions. But you can now see that, like I see that they're hurting themselves without even realizing it. Anyway, I've been talking forever. I'm gonna stop. I don't even know if this video is gonna be any good, but I'm just gonna share it because that's what I do. I keep trying and then sharing, and then I hope it's meaningful to somebody. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm going to say goodbye now. I hope, yeah, thank you for watching. There will be more videos to come.